Welcome again to our channel, All About You, All About Me. Today, my sisters and I are going to talk about spending. Do we really need to spend the money we spend for the holidays? And this is what we're going to share with you. Carla, we'll start with you. Did you budget this year?
Um, yes and no. I had put aside money in the piggy bank, and the reason why I have it is because I'd forgotten about it, but my grandson broke the bank, so I went ahead and used that for my spending. It was supposed to be for a trip instead. But I'm learning as I'm really doing some evaluation. I'm thinking, why does he need this? Why does my grandson need that? How does it help him to be a better human being by me immediately giving him something? All he has to do is ask for it and he gets it. And I'm looking at that, and then what does it do for me? When I'm spending all that money at the time, I'm like, oh, yes. And as soon as the holidays are over, I'm back to that sadness. And I'm thinking about that money could have gone here, gone there. So budgeting is the top of my list right now. Because I think that's the best way to enjoy Christmas and to live within that saved income that you have set aside for Christmas.
I agree 100% with that. I used to not believe that before. For some reason, I used to be the one that would get heavily into debt at Christmas time because, of course, I didn't really save up for it, but there were those credit cards.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
I would spend. And then sometimes I would be at the store and I'm like, ooh, let me get this. Ooh, let me get that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got home, I was like, who was that for? And then, of course, it was for me. So, there it was. But now I save up for Christmas. I have a little book and it has subdivisions, gifts, clothing, because we always want to wear something new. And cook food because we buy a lot of extra things.
Yes, we do.
So and decorations. So it has a lot of little sections, and it worked really well for me last year, and it's gonna work again this year. So that's where all my budgeting comes from, because you know how you said, does he really need this? My belief is that Christmas is not about needs; it's about wants.
Okay.
So I always try to do that. But the kids I used to shop for.
Wait a minute. Like, it's about wants, as in you want to give them. Describe.
You
a little
want
bit more.
what they want, right?
Well, no, what I do, I used to do is I would say, give me your wish list. And it was a wish list.
Okay, what do you
Stuff
want for
they
Christmas?
wanted, not
Okay,
necessarily what they needed.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Because I thought it should be special. And a lot of the times
agree.
needs are not special.
I agree with that.
So, but now my godchildren have gotten a lot older. So now it's just money. So it really makes it so much easier for me. I don't have to shop. It's just, an envelope. And then I get them a little, something. Not something major like, one of my nephews, he loves the little butter cookies that come in that tin.
Oh, that blue tin.
Yeah, the
I
blue
love
tin.
it.
I get him his tin and
Yeah,
put his card on top.
there you go.
So it's become easier, but I definitely have to budget for it.
But I do want to correct myself before I.
No, it's okay.
It's not so much wants and needs. When I say, does he need that? His wish list is 10 things, and I'm running around trying to get all 10.
Ooh.
Does he really need all 10 of those items? And what am I telling him? That you just ask for it and you get it? It's not something that he's earned. But I want him to have it because I do want him to have something off of his wish list. Absolutely. But I no longer have to give him all 10 things.
Yeah.
That's where, and thank you for bringing that up. It is still what he wants. But do I need to spend all that money on that? That's where the
So
need
are you
comes.
going to give him the 10 things?
No, absolutely not. He did not get 10 things this year.
Nope.
He got 3.
You got 3.
The top 3 is what he got.
Okay. I think for me it's a little bit different. I really am grateful for Rosie because she did teach me how to save and how to budget. So I have to say that I did budget for this year. And it's not so much me. I still have to go through other channels called my husband because my husband does like to spend more than I like to spend for Christmas.
Okay.
And so I did budget. Just like Rosie taught me to budget. I am very content with that. We now talk about, my husband and I now talk about, well, what's the dollar amount we really need to spend on these kids?
I like that.
So I'm the type that sees the future all the time. He sees the Christmas part. Christmas to me is more about family, not about giving. But like my favorite author says, you willingly give and graciously receive.
Yes.
I kind of tend to, I go, they're young. They don't expect them to think like you do because they don't. All they want to know is what is Santa bringing them, what is Grandma giving them, what is Grandpa doing, da 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 da. So for me, what I like to do is I like to budget. And I don't even ask them for a wish list. And it's funny because they already know that. So what I like to have them around me, actually December 24th, which is Christmas Eve, because that's, I get away from the other family that I think is very important that they need to spend time with. Yes. And then on top of that, they deserve to be with the 2 families. So I like to budget, like Rosie said, for food, for games, because we play games. I think that's important. I don't spend as much for decorations because throughout the years, don't we kind of just hold something from last year and the year before and the year before?
Yes.
To be honest with you, I think I need to clean everything and start fresh. But yes, I think we overly spend many times. We think that sometimes we can afford something that we really can't afford. And, we are retired. I am retired. And I like to spend throughout the year, and I like to travel throughout the year.
Yes.
So this is where Rosie really comes in with me and has taught me how to put money away throughout the time. And I really, really like to kind of stick to what I say. But like I said, it's more about family time for me than it is about spending because like Carla and Rosie say, well, you buy. And at the end of the month, you wonder, well, what did they do with this? What did they do with that? Did they play with this? And our grandchildren are still kids and they like to have expensive gifts for some reason. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but they go for the expensive stuff.
Yes.
I'm more for the gift cards. I'm more for the envelopes when we play games, and I'm more for the dinner. So that's what I like to do.
I do want to remind us too during this holiday season that's coming up, a lot of us are feeling maybe the loss of loved ones, or we're feeling the loss of something in our life. And a lot of times people can become very depressed around this season, and spending does not help that depression. It just adds to it when the bills come in from the credit cards. So it's important for us all to be aware of that, and also to be cognizant of our family and friends who are showing some of that, so that we reach out to them and we're aware of their situation, and we're there to assist, support, encourage as they go through the holiday seasons. Because I know for me, it's challenging sometimes, and I do need that encouragement and support. Because the holidays aren't always fun for me. And I realize that about myself. So just want to remind everyone to be aware of the people that you care about, or anyone that you may come across. An encouraging word, a smile, stranger in the street, that all can be a helping event for people during the holiday season.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Carla, because for many, many, many years, even though I've lost my mother many years ago,
Mhm.
I just couldn't celebrate Christmas because Christmas was a time that I think was her favorite holiday. So
Yes.
came Christmas, I would only think of my mother. I would want to do everything she would do. I would want the family, but there was always that sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And then, quite honestly, not too long ago, I realized, what are you doing, Rosa? What are you doing? You have a son, you have grandchildren, you have family.
Yes.
They deserve the best of you.
Mm-hmm.
I will never, ever forget my mother, ever, or my family
That's right.
that have gone above, ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you that, you can't live the past.
Nope, you cannot.
You have to embellish what you have today. You have to inspire those you have with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to give whatever you have today to those kids or family members, because
That's
you know what,
true.
that's what they're going to remember. So
That's what they're going to remember.
not too long ago, I decided, Mom will know that I will never forget her. But I need to live today, and I need to be happy today, because my grandchildren, my son, my husband, my family are watching me.
Yes.
And sad, I do not want to be.
Yes.
So yes, it is very, very hard. Especially, I remember working at doctor's offices, and we had a big group of patients all the time, because this was depression time for many patients.
Yes.
And maybe I fell into that. I'm not sure, but I'm really asking all of my viewers that if you fall into that cycle, enjoy what you can. It is easier said than done.
Yes.
But if we try to really just look at what we have, what we've been blessed with today, and what we have around us, concentrate on that more than the past.
Yes.
And and it will, believe me, you will inspire someone. So don't give more than love them. That's what I have to say. What do you say, Rosie?
Well, funny that you should say that about your mom, because I realized now, years later, that my mom was really the glue that kept our family together. And, she was the one that inspired everyone to come over, and she would cook on Fridays, and who doesn't want their moms cooking on Fridays, right? So she was the glue that kept us together. And now that my parents have passed away, it has seemed like, our family, my siblings, my brothers, they now each have their own family. So that has, kind of disappeared for us. And this year is going to be different for me because it's the first year without my sister. So I'm not looking forward to it that much, but I am looking forward to it.
Good.
It's like I told my husband, I don't know who's going to do it, but this house is going to have lights on. And he's like, not I. And I'm like, no, not you. But,
Even if we have to pay for it.
The first thought was like, oh, you and a ladder? No. But somehow those lights are going to go on this year. And why? Because it adds so much brightness to the house. And I think that this year I need it. So I'm going to do that. And, it's just a little bit of us getting together. And my husband, he's not a social person. So he already told me that he does not do New Year's.
Okay.
For me, all my life, I couldn't really go out on New Year's because it was my father's birthday.
Oh.
And we had to be home. And, so it was like I never got to really do that partying all night type of New Year's. And it's like, oh, wow, I could do that now. No, my husband doesn't like it.
Oh.
So we'll just be alone on New Year's Eve. It's just us two and the dog. But it's okay because there will be lots of lights on. And I
love
will
it.
be
I
happy.
love it. New traditions.
Yes. New
It
traditions.
doesn't have to be the same
No.
old thing.
No.
It can be new. So that's important to remember too.
Yes.
And if you're feeling sad, reach out.
Yes.
Reach out, because you never know, your sadness may help someone else understand their sadness.
Yes.
So it's important to reach out and not stay in that space alone and by yourself. It's so important to reach out.
You know, the one thing I want to say is I'm not saying that I forgot my mother. And now, you know, I just live today and tomorrow. I just want you guys to know that I still go with tradition. The one thing my mother used to love to do would be tortillas, flour tortillas, with the eggs and the potatoes and the bacon. And I don't know what it is, but come December, what did I feed you guys today?
Tortillas.
I fed you flour
with
tortillas,
papas,
and eggs.
jamón,
Yes.
huevos, de veras.
So I think that's how I carry my mother in my heart.
Yes.
You know, I think that as long as I make, and believe me, I do not make tortillas the entire year. So what I do is around this time, I bring her out. I bring her with me. I have her with me. And I do what I remember she used to do a lot. And so something of hers come out. What do you guys do that we could say would be family orientated when back?
Oh my! Well, you know, my family. It's like we always did tamales on New Year, on Christmas Eve, and it's if you've never done them, it's very time consuming. It's a lot of work. It's like it used to be where I would be there, and then that day I could maybe have one, and that was pushing it. I would eat everything else because I just couldn't handle it. Now, you know, and it's a tradition that we still have, but we changed it up. We don't quite do it on Christmas Eve anymore. We do it before so that we can enjoy Christmas Eve.
Yes,
that's nice.
But you know, my mother wanted everything fresh.
Yeah.
But so that's a tradition for Christmas that we continue. It has to be tamales.
Tamales. Okay. All right, Carla. What do you think?
Ours is wrapped Christmas presents under the tree.
Oh.
All the presents have to be wrapped. He's becoming of age where Santa probably won't be bringing as many gifts, because Santa has other families, you know, that, and I'm saying this discreetly, everyone, that he will be addressing. But everything's wrapped and it's under the tree. And this year's really hard because I have, I thought I was bad growing up. I would always take one present, go in my room and open it up and hide it in the drawer. And my mother never knew.
Oh.
They never knew. Because part of me spending and spending and spending has been a family tradition. So there's some traditions we want to continue, but there's some traditions we need to stop.
Right. Which is spending.
Which is spending.
You know, spending something we don't have to.
We don't have to do.
You know, then we feel guilty, and then we have to, you know what, wait until, you know, 2, 3, 4 months to pay off that credit card, which we never do, by the way, because then we have New Year's, and we have what Valentine's Day, and then you know what comes Easter, and you know,
summer vacation.
Yeah, just be budget aware. You know, spend what you can.
Yes,
for you know, sure. I think that our family will love us whether we spend lots of money or not. And you don't want to get them used to, you know, spending a lot.
It's family time and playing games, like you said. That's another tradition we do, is we play games.
Yeah.
They are some of the corniest games you ever want to see. Me playing musical chairs, and for the last 3 Christmases that I played musical chairs, I ended up on the floor. I ended up on the floor, and it was my kids, my son or my daughter, that knocked me off my chair.
That's our game
my son actually pulled the chair over just a smidgen, and as I'm falling, he grabbed me as he's sitting down, so I didn't hurt myself. Good. Really? So yeah, that is compassion. Thank you. That's a good way to look at that. There's always 2 ways to look at things.
Yes.
Half empty and half full. So yes, compassionate.
So for the holidays, and obviously, you know, we're talking about Christmas. You just believe in yourself and don't overdo it if you don't have to. Believe me, whatever you buy,
they'll love.
Exactly.
They'll love.
Yes.
So
if it's given with love, it's received with love.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Willingly give and graciously receive.
Yes.
So with that said, we thank you so much for being with us, for subscribing. That's our best gift. And
Yes.
we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.